MEC, Manu Sobe, our member of mayoral committee for community development in the city of Johannesburg, Councillor Winston, if I take maybe the middle name, members of the media present here today, the beautiful, colorful Africans, Pan-Africanists who are actually in the room, and to the member of the African Diaspora Forum, I greet you in the true spirit and in the name of the mother continent Africa. Happy Africa Day. Happy Africa Day to you. Honorable MEC, my message is not going to be long. It will be actually short. But if I even become emotional in the middle, someone must provide me with a napkin or actually tissue. Because if there is a day to celebrate our uniqueness, our unity as an African is today. It's a day to showcase the work and to carry the hopes and the aspiration of the founding father of this great nation and the great continent of Africa, starting with the first country that attained independence in 1947, that will be Ghana. So as I stand here today, it's actually a reflection and a celebration of the founding fathers of this continent, the likes of Kwame Nkrumah, the likes of Hayati Julius Kambarage Nyerere, Jomo Kenyatta, Ahmed Sekou Toure, Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Nelson Mandela, and the great nation of this continent. Today is a celebration of the achievement of our forefathers. In the first liberation, the forefathers of this continent fought colonialism, oppression, discrimination, and apartheid, and they made sure in their time that no African country will remain behind, and all of the African continent will actually be independent one day. And the first liberation is completed when South Africans under apartheid give Namibians their own independence in 1990, and SWAPO, led by actually Dr. Sam Nujoma, came to power, and a month later, our most revered leader in the continent, Nelson Mandela, was released from prison, and 4 years down the lane, South Africa became the last nation in the League of the Independent African Countries to attain independence in 27th of April 1994. So I think there is a lot to celebrate in that. The second liberation was the democratization of the African continent and African countries that attained independence, remembering that as an Africans we love power too much. Those that we celebrated even as a founding father initiated one party, and some of them did not actually want to leave the power. And Africa now started actually saying, no, we are tired of one party rule. We are tired of one man dominating us for 30 years. And there comes the rebellion of some section of the Constitution that paved way for multi-party democracy in the continent in the late 80s and in the early 1990s. Some of the front countries being Kenya that rebelled the Section 2A of its constitution in 1992 and actually put the country, followed by countries like actually Zambia. And today, the second liberation is something that is achieved with the exception of the two monarchs, the Morocco and Eswatini. The rest of the African continent is democratic with multipartyism, and the African population have got the right to choose whoever they want to be in the helm of power in their countries. Amen to that. The last and one of the one I think that is unachievable is what I will term the third liberation, and that is the economic emancipation of Africans. And that is where we have got the challenge That is where we have got actually inter-community and inter-country strife, and that is why we talk much about Afrophobia, xenophobia, and aporophobia, which is actually the dislike of the indigent. But we believe having young leaders like actually MEC Mbali, we shall soon overcome with that and the final liberation, which is the economic actually liberation of the continent. And we are not going to fight for bonds, and we will be rich, because it is our resources and manpower that developed Europe and America. And if we utilize those resources, Congo will not be the poorest country in the continent, but it will be the richest nation in the continent. Lastly, may I reflect on actually our walkabout today, MEC and NMC. It is the second walkabout we are doing as the Diaspora, having done one in 2008 after the mass xenophobic attack with eminent personalities representing the club Real Madrid, that was former president and former prime minister, led by the former Mauritius president Kassim Oteim. And the challenge we saw that day, up to today, is actually there. But one thing I would like to reflect upon is actually the unity and the diversity we saw in that. And your will be in Africa, in South Africa, I'd like to suggest MMC. I have got an appeal to you. We make another round. We come back, sit one day, eat with them, listen to their challenges, as well as the opportunities that are there. The vast majority of the people we saw today came with nothing in this country. And today, they are sustainable. They develop themselves, they develop their families, and I am told, it's something you can go and reflect, I am told this is one of the best markets, even in terms of revenue collection, it is number one. So we need to come back to them and listen to their challenges as well as the opportunities. What can we learn from someone who ran from his country in Congo or in any part of the country, came with nothing, started a living, and today actually is considered a middle class person. The second thing, maybe is a name change in this market. You will be in Africa, in South Africa. Maybe a suggestion of even calling the market itself a Pan-African market. Or even if we don't want to lose the Yobel, we call it the Yobel Pan-African market, because this is the only place, and the World Council will attest to this, that at least you will find Caribbeans, you will find Europeans from Eastern Europe, and African. And one thing that actually made me very proud today, Honorable MEC and MMC, is that while waiting you to come, I was actually greeted by a South African lady in a Muslim regalia with actually universal Islamic greeting of peace, which is Assalamu alaikum. But one thing that attracted me to her is that she was speaking a pure Wolof. Wolof is a language spoken majority in the West African continent. But when I talked to her, she said she's a South African from the Eastern Cape and a Xhosa, married to a Muslim guy who converted to her to Islam, and she can speak proudly now French, she can speak Wolof, and besides that. So that is actually the unity in diversity that we are looking for. I'm not saying that we want to take all South African ladies, convert them into Islam and our growth, but I'm saying that is the diversity we want. A happy couple, a South African young lady maybe who was born actually in the Eastern Cape, in Umtata maybe, who came here looking for, chasing her aspiration and hope, married to a Senegalese who can now speak French, who can speak Wolof, converted to Islam, and doing a living from actually the little That is actually the unity and diversity we want. God bless Africa. God bless all of us. Amanda.